Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna just do this as quick as I can. I've re-recorded this like twice because I have a tendency to just sit and be ADHD and just I don't know if I have ADHD, but I just end up talking about everything and then I'm talking about nothing. Have you ever heard that saying, if you're friends with everyone, you're friends with no one? If you talk about everything, then you talk about nothing. So let me be focused, right? My purpose of this video, I just want to lay it out so I can be productive, is why I think we need a new religion based in truth. And I've felt this way for a long time, and I can't go through every point, but I'm going to just go through a few, right? So let me start here. Meaning is and has to be personal. It doesn't matter what I say to you. If I say, bruv, the meaning of life is counting every single numbers, every blade of grass in your garden. Once you've done that, you'll realise that's the meaning. Anyway, so you'll go and do that. You'll go, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe it. You'll start doing it, and you might go, I don't know, this just isn't for me. Maybe I need to count clovers and find the four-leaf clover. That's what it is. He was right. Rid was almost right. My name's Rid. He was almost right. I just needed to count the clovers and find the four-leaf clover. So anyway, you start doing that, and at some point maybe you find one or whatever, but you go, that was fun. I found a four-leaf clover. I'm done with this now. I don't want to search for clovers for 10 hours a day anymore. Because I looked for a four-leaf clover once. Once you find one, you're like, fuck, I found a four-leaf clover. But when once it's done, it's done. And here's the thing. Let's get here. Personal meanings. Meaning is personal because the reason is because I can't tell you what matters to you, right? I could be right by chance. I could say, do you know what? You're the type, I know a lot of people like you. And usually knitting does it. Trust me. Knitting is going to hit the spot. You're feeling depressed? Try knitting. Make a jumper, bruv. And you'll go, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Knitting, that ain't for me. And you might try it and you might by chance love it. Or you might hate it. But it doesn't mean that a person like me, can't be right about your meaning. I could find someone who's feeling empty and I could say, maybe Jesus will do it for you. Here's a Bible. It might not do it for them, but it might do it for them. It doesn't mean that meaning isn't personal though, because the meaning that person feels, they don't go, Rid was so right. He was so right about, they could say he was right, this has given me meaning, but let me think how to phrase this. The actual part of them which they go, this gives me purpose, this stops me worrying, this frees me. That's personal. That experience is personal. Okay? Let me give you some examples, right? So my first point on that piece of paper that I'm going to follow this time properly, otherwise I get nowhere with these videos, is meaning is personal. So I could be right and say to you, hey, you might really like this and I might be right, but you loving it is personal, even if I recommended it, or even if you're part of a community, you might say, hey, isn't Christianity a communal thing? Isn't the meaning a communal thing? Kind of, but each individual feels purpose being a part of the communal, right? A part of the tribe, right? So yes, you might find your meaning being part of the tribe and going to Africa and joining a tribe for a week, and they say, we need a strong young man or woman to go and help us hunt. And you find a skill in this. You become great at recognizing tracks of animals or something, and they're like, wow, we never see this before. You're amazing. And you were helpful, and maybe you feel loads of purpose because you go, it could be, I really enjoy seeing and deciphering the tracks of the individual animals. That sounds very personal, but also your meaning is still personal if you say, I enjoy bringing meaning, helping the tribe, because your meaning is something to do with the communal, not just individuals, and yet the feeling of it is personal. So I'm trying to say meaning is personal. Okay, I think we all kind of know this anyway. Maybe I'm describing this a bit shit, but like if someone loves knitting, you can't really tell them like that's just stupid. Like you can't, or if someone loves counting four-leaf clovers, you can't really say like that's kind of pointless, isn't it? Like you're just counting clovers, bruv, looking for a four-leafer. It's just like a chance of statistics. If they love counting fucking clovers, you're not going to say nothing, anything. There's gonna, you ain't saying nothing, right now. My English. You're not going to say anything which will change their mind. So, and you know this even stronger if you find a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist, and they were in a deep dark depression, and then Buddhism saved them. Good luck making them lose their meaning in it. And if you do succeed in that, it's quite mean because they're going to be like, "What? So you're telling me Buddhism isn't the way? But that's my way." And now they're fucked, and now you have to give them a new light. Which brings me to my next point. Okay, no. The next point is after that. How long have I been on for? Fuck. How does time fly? 5 minutes, fuck. The other people I see who do videos like this do them in like 9 minutes and they've said everything. Like, fuck. I need to write scripts, I think. Okay. How do we judge if your meaning, the thing you do, the activity or whatever it is that you really like in life, is good for you? I think the way we measure if something is meaningful and good for you, really meaningful, is does it stop your fear of death? So whilst you're doing your favourite thing, or one of your favourite things, are you sitting there going, "Oh, I like this, but I just can't get the feeling out that I'm going to die one day"? I would argue, most of the time, if you're doing something you love that gives you purpose and meaning, you're not sitting there worrying, "But I'm going to die." You're free. You're free. And just a sec, I just need to check something. No, good. Okay. During the activity that you love, whatever it is, you know, if you're knitting, if you're counting clovers, if you're I don't know, you wake up and your meaning is to please your girlfriend or whatever it is, you know, go viral online or make a new religion, right? We'll get to that. Whatever your meaning is, if during the activity of it, let me speak better, if during the action, like whilst you're working towards this thing, you're doing the activity, you're not sitting there going, "But I'm going to die one day, what's the meaning?" Then I'd say it's freed you. And I'd say it's freed you because it's giving you purpose right now. And purpose is the antidote to deep purpose, and meaning is the antidote to worrying about death. If you're saying, "Every day I wake up and I make sure I get that food on the table for my son, because I'm a father," you might be worried about things, but you're kind of like, "Fuck that shit. My purpose is I'm getting food for my son today. Fuck all the ops." You know, you're not worried. You're like, well, in a way you are, because you're now worried about your son, but you're not worried about maybe what's the meaning of life, or I'm going to die one day, because you're fulfilled, you're consumed with purpose. So we've said meaning is personal, and I've not explained that very well, but for now we're going to just accept it, because we all know deep down meaning is personal. You know, as I already described, people find meaning from different personal things, and I'm saying that if a meaning is doing it for you, if it's like really fulfilling you with if it really matters to you, you're probably not worrying about death during the activity, right? So if your meaning is, "I want to make my girl come 10 times a day," maybe not 10, but during that activity, during doing that thing that matters to you, it has to matter to you. If it matters to you a lot, you're not sitting there going, "Oh, fuck, maybe tomorrow we won't be alive." It's like, no, this matters. I have to make it come. I have to get the four-leaf clover. I have to form a religion before I die, based in truth, and we're going to get to that. And I have to take humanity to infinity, and I have to be a net positive for the world. Whatever it is, I have to be the best makeup artist, whatever it is, you know, the best singer. You're probably not worrying about death during the activity of that, which is a testament to this thing does matter to you, because it's outshining your worries, right? So meaning is personal. If it's really meaningful for you, you're not worried about death during it usually, unless your purpose is related to unless your purpose is something to do with eliminating the fear of death, then the fear of death might have meaning for you, because you're saying, I need to find a way to cure this. So it's kind of like, that's an interesting thought. But and it does bring me on to my next point of religion. What is the purpose of religion? Now that's a long topic, and I've got to be very careful I don't go ADHD on this topic. Religion. Religion serves many purposes. And we could talk about how people of power have used it for power. They've perverted it, especially Christianity at times. Some people follow it better than others, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I think we can all agree on that religion generally does, is it eliminates the fear of death for the followers. Because most religions say, death isn't death. It doesn't count. The end isn't the end. Most religions say, it doesn't matter when you die, because you're going to go to another point. Well, actually, no, sorry, they don't say it doesn't matter. They say, don't worry, you continue. And nowadays, most of them don't just say, don't worry, you continue. Don't worry, as long as you've been good, you continue and have a good life forever in heaven. And then they add the thing about hell, but I'm not talking about hell or whatever right now. My point is, they say, you persist, you continue after death. I don't want to dwell on this too much, but all of the knowledge in my life so far, and I'm extremely logical, ridiculously logical. I'm so logical that it pisses off the people in my life who tell me they're on the spectrum. I'm probably on the spectrum, but there's people in my life who say they're on the spectrum. And I'm so logical. I'm not saying I'm not emotional as well, but when I'm talking about things like this, I'm so fucking logical that I even piss them off. The logical people, the people who are supposed to be more logical than the average person, because they say, wow, you're too logical. They don't say that, but they imply that. It's like, stop being a psychopath. I'm not a psychopath, but, halfway at times when I talk about, I'm unbiased. I'm as unbiased as you can be. When I talk about topics, I can tell you, I wish this was true. But parking that to the side, my emotion, this is what I think is true. In fact, I'm going to do that right now for you all. I wish, personally, that I do persist after death, and that I am God, so that I can be everywhere, know everyone that I want to know, now, there, kind of be present, see all the sunsets, the beautiful sights that there are to see right now. I'd love to be God. That's personal. That's something I actually would love to be. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't seem I am God. In a very poetic way, which I'm not going to go through too much in this video, because I get carried away. We are like God in a poetic way, and I need to talk about that at length in another video, because too many people talk on this topic without logic. So when I say, in a way, we're like God, you're assuming I'm being retarded. I'm just being real. You're assuming I'm being retarded. Oh, he must be one of those. No, I'm not one of those. There's a lot of logic to why, in a nice poetic way, we kind of all are pieces of God. But that's for another video. I'm not going to do that right now, unless it becomes relevant, because I wanted to finish this without taking too long. Before I go to work, time flies. I've got to go to work out of this. Fun fact: when I was little, I used to say I remember something. Two things. Two fun facts. One, when I was little, I used to say, I must have been 9 or 8. I went into school and I said to a girl, I'm going to be a bodybuilder when I'm older. Her name was Hermione, not Granger. Hermione. It's Cathedral. I went to a posh school. I'm trying to remember her surname. I don't know. Hermione was her name. She was a lovely girl. And I said, I'm going to be a big bodybuilder when I'm older. And I was like how I am now, but way skinnier. Now, little did she know, one day I'd be taking steroids. Maybe I'm not going to be a bodybuilder, but I'll end up looking like one soon. In about 3 months when I finish steroids. And hopefully I don't get really fat afterwards. We'll see. But anyway, I would say this. I was so annoying as a kid. I'd say, did you know? I was like a science fact guy. I'd sit down and be like, guys, did you know? So while Jim Jones, and I'm not going to talk about Jim Jones in this video because I keep getting carried away, but I'll touch on him. While Jim Jones was busy actually getting it, like he said, I love attention. How do I get it? He succeeded. And when he got older, he succeeded. I would go, I like attention, because I love attention, as well as these guys, who usually pursue power when they're older, which I am going to soon, in a good way. They seem to be, they've always been better than me at getting it. They go, oh, well, I'll get attention if I do X, Y, Z, and then they get attention. I go, I know what I'll do. When I was a little kid, I go, did you know? And I just say some stupid fact. And I remember this, I said to this girl, I'm going to be a bodybuilder when I'm older. And she was just laughing at me. She's like, look at you, you feel skinny, you're not going to be a bodybuilder. But she was lovely. But anyway, that was that. I got carried away. See what I'm saying? I must be ADHD. Fuck, why did I say did you know? Where was I coming to? Fun fact. Today, I woke up 8 hours later than I was supposed to. Think about that. You think you have a sleeping problem, mate, whoever you are, yeah? I'm coming out with a course soon, once I fucking beat my sleep problem, of how to wake max, like wake up max. It's going to be called Wake Max, and it's going to be about me waking up at 8 or 7 a.m. every day, no matter how many hours sleep I got. I will do this. Anyway, let me get back on the topic of the video. But I just wanted to finish by saying I suffer with this. I woke up 8 hours later than I was supposed to. My alarm went off. I'd had 5 or 6 hours sleep this last night. I said, oh, I'm tired. I'll just close my eyes for a minute. 8 hours. This happens to me. Okay, what can I say? I've always been like this. So when I beat my sleep problems, my course will be the most valuable because I've suffered with sleep probably the most of anyone. Back on the topic, yeah? Fuck. This is my problem. I need to be better at speaking. Staying on topic. Religion's purpose, I was just trying to say, religion makes people not scared of death. That's all I'm trying to say. And it's true. Because one way or another, religion usually says, don't worry, death isn't the end. Don't worry. Don't worry. Death isn't the end. Come here. Death isn't the end, buddy. It's fine. You will persist. And then it scares you and says, you'll go to hell though if you're bad. But anyway, that's not my point. They say you continue. I wanted to say, I have no good reason to believe we do persist. And some of you are watching this going, fuck off, bullshit, we do persist. And some of you are going, I think he's right. And some of you are going, I really hope he's not right. And I hope I'm not right. Because, just to quickly touch on it, and actually quickly this time, I do wish we persisted. I do wish we lived forever, but I don't have any evidence that says we do. And I am bothered by that personally a lot. Because it means I only have so long to meet every girl in this city that I find beautiful, that I could have a great relationship with. I only have so long to go into the streets and do my street stall, which you will see me doing on this YouTube channel and live streaming soon. I have some stuff to solve, but soon. I will be live streaming in the street like Clavicula. I only have one life. I only have one chance to meet every single fitty that and connect max, literal connect max with every single one of them to find out who I have the best connection with. Maybe I'll be with multiple. Who fucking cares? One life, right? Consensually, of course. You only have one life, you know? So that's how I feel. Now, I'm not here to preach and tell you all what's the truth, but I am here to say religion usually answers that problem, which is that we go, oh fuck, death, it's over at death. So if I'm really short my whole life, my one life is at a huge disadvantage. For, I don't know, for women, I guess. You can still get women, but you know, it doesn't matter that much. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people are comforted by the idea, no, the end isn't the end. And so that brings me to that. Religion's purpose, one of the biggest things about religion is it says, you don't die. But I don't... We're having a lot of... Okay, hold on, just 1 second. Okay, we're good. I'm going to be quick because I've got to go soon. Let me get back on topic. Okay. The modern day, we're having an issue. I went to the gym yesterday and I went to the toilet and I looked at... It said on the wall, it said something about men's suicide. It said like 50% of men will think about that in their lifetime or something like that. They'll have times when they think it being suicidal. When I think back, I've had moments too. I had very low times. It's crazy. And someone I was with at that time also had really low times, and then she's better now and I'm better now. So it's funny how life goes. But at the time I was really low. And so some of you might be going through that right now. And if you are, I think you will get better, but you can't just like fucking do get better, mate. Someone did tell me that and they were right. They were completely right. A lady said that to me when I was in the hospital. I'd overdosed on MDMA. I took like 5 pills. I took like 5. But this is years ago. I never touched anything like that ever again, and I haven't. And I never will. But anyway, where was I going with this? I wasn't going with that. Modern nihilism and suicidal people. Yeah, It said on the back of the door in the gym yesterday, one in, I don't know, something like this, 50% of men will be suicidal at some point, or something like that, I don't know. And it talked about men and suicide, and I thought about, yeah, something's going wrong. Something's going wrong in the modern day where people will take the only thing they know they have, which is their life. People will take their life. It's not a common thing, but sometimes people will take their life. The only thing you have. The only thing you have. They'll take it. Fuck, they must have balls. And realistically, they don't have balls. I'm not here to shame people who suffer. No. I'm just saying, they probably don't believe that who's going to take their life if they believe they're going to hell? No, they probably believe, like logical scientific people, it's probably just going to be like before I was born. And sadly, they use that and go, therefore, I prefer to be nothing than suffer. I would like to just say a quick note of, you must develop your character, get through those times, and you'll become a strong person, as I am, as a lot of people who get through these things are. You just end up being strong. I had to deal with gluten reactions, and I will for 3 months very soon in my videos. You might see a difference in my face, you might see a difference in the colouring of my skin, probably be very red, and you might see a difference in my mood. I might get quite emotional because the brain inflammation I get from gluten is quite ridiculous. It makes me feel very bad. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be a beast this time. I'm on steroids, so maybe I'll beast through. That's part of the reason I'm on steroids, by the way, is because I wanted to start the steroids and continue them the whole time I do this gluten tolerance protocol. That's something I have to talk about in another video because it's a big deal. No one's ever beaten celiac before, and maybe I'll be the first who does it on purpose, and I'm dead fucking serious. And if I could say the mix that I'm doing and explain it in whole, if I could explain it that quickly, I'd do it right now and you would all go, oh wow, it might fucking work. So it's quite exciting. But anyway, I'm excited about it, but a bit scared because the way I feel when I react to that shit is really bad. So I wanted to be uplifted. I don't see I've gone off topic. Fuck. What's wrong with me? Part of the reason I was on androgenic steroids, not muscle steroids. I mean, they are giving me muscle, but they're more like beard and mood and like making my voice deeper. Yeah, it's gonna be deeper soon. Yeah, making my okay. So all this to say, fuck, my computer's dying. Shit. Okay. All this to say, we're failing the smart people. There's smart people who are going, I don't think there's a hell or a heaven. I think death is just the end. And they're actually taking their life. It's not a common thing. I'm not trying to get you down, whoever you are watching. Oh my God, everyone's killing themselves. No, they're not. But the fact that some people do, it tells you a few things. One, they're not. Here's what it tells you. They're not feeling enough purpose and meaning, because when you feel purpose and meaning, you're distracted. If you love knitting, you're just like, fuck off, worries. I'm fucking knitting, bitch. I'm knitting a fucking jumper. So all the worries of life can fuck off. Or if you love, I met a man who sits by the lake. This is real. With my ex-girlfriend, I went to Scotland recently, and we saw a man who chose, around my age, 23, and this moved me greatly. He chose to go to, I've got to be quick because my computer's dying. He chose, this is real, deep this. He chose to go to a lake. The Loch Ness Monster Lake, the one where the legend goes, there were sightings of a monster. Now, it's probably not real, but he stayed there for 30 years with a camera, with going out with a boat, going out with a depth sensor, all this shit, to try and find the Loch Ness Monster. Now, he's never found the monster. And people say to him, well, isn't that a waste then? Have you wasted the last 30 years from age, 23 to 53 or 60, whatever he is now, 60? He said, absolutely fucking not. I've loved this. This is what I wanted. He said, I wanted to get away and be by the lake, wake up by the lake every day. Originally, he didn't stay at the lake, but it's a long story. He stayed at the lake for at least the last 25 years because his car broke down. He said, fuck it, car broken down. We're going to stay at my favourite one of the lakes. And I'm going to wait to find the Loch Ness Monster, try and find it every day. When I met that guy, I said to my girl at the time, my girlfriend, that moves me. He's found purpose in that. Now, she was a bit annoyed because, she fancies guys who are like, want to be businessmen, and she liked that side of me. I want to be, I mean, you'll see what I do soon. Very much on the business side, but I can't. But I just want to add a little touch on this. I'm not going to be a businessman because girls want me to be a businessman. That's fake. That's phony. I'm not going to be a mega G because girls want me to be a mega G. Fuck that shit. You got to be somewhat who you are. Otherwise, it's just girls. People can just smell fake. So you got to be real. Hey, be real, man. I don't know why I said that. You got to be real. And thankfully, I do have a real desire to do business because I think it's cool. I want to make money and I want to help people. Everything, and also girls are like it. But that's a very small percentage. That's quite low on the list. If it was like I want to make muscle and do business just to impress girls, I think that's a bit lame. But if you've got to be honest, it is on the list. It's on the list somewhere. Like, yeah, girls will be impressed. They'll be wet. So that's part of it. But no, let me get back on topic. So all this to say, the fact that people are taking their lives sometimes, like it said on the back of the gym door yesterday, tells you, one, there's people who aren't being fulfilled by the purposes this society gives them presently. It isn't doing it for them, right? Christianity ain't hitting in the heart for them. Islam isn't hitting. They've heard a bit about it. That ain't for me. That's fake. That's what they're saying. Materialism ain't doing it for them. Girlfriends ain't doing it for them. Cuddles ain't doing it for them. I can't relate to that one. That does it for me. But stuff isn't doing it for them. Like cuddles, attention, coming, love. It's hard to say how can love not do it for you. But it's not working. Fuck, my dude's gonna die. I can't have it die on me. Hold on. Okay, 20%. I've probably got about 5 minutes of recording left. Fuck, 10 minutes to work. Okay, to finish is this. I'm going to finish it quickly. The fact that people take their lives sometimes in this society shows they're not having enough purpose. And it also shows that they don't think we persist after death. I believe we need a new religion based in truth. Not a lie. Based in truth. Because I already said a few things about religion. One, it'll stop you fearing death, which is a nice thing. And it should give you purpose. So if we talked about personal meanings. Once you're doing your personal meaning, you're not worried about your pain. You're not worried about death. You're not worried about nothing. For some people it's knitting. For some people it's making their girlfriend have pleasure. For some people it's cuddles. Whatever it is. For some people it's making religion. For some people it's becoming a looks max or whatever. Or traveling, or surfing, but I've got to stop listing what you get me. But if you haven't got that, something that gives you purpose, you're at risk of taking your life. Say, well, none of it matters anyway, fuck it. Especially if you have a bit of pain. I have pain. I get when I eat gluten. Maybe there's some celiacs who have taken their life. They're like, you know what? This isn't fair. I eat a bit of bread and I suffer, and I'll never be suicidal for that. Even though it's a bit of a joke between me and my sister. She's like, it's going to say on the gravestone, couldn't handle not eating bread. It took his life. That's not going to happen. But it does bother me. But if I had no purpose outside, if I had no deep purpose in my life, pain would hit so much harder. Fuck, bro. It'd be like this. Fuck, bro. I can't have bread. What am I, bitch? Why should I live? You'd feel that way if you reacted to gluten and you'd had pain and you had no purpose in your life, or if you were broken up with, or whatever it is. Pain is way worse if you have no purpose. So what am I trying to say before I gotta go? Fuck. We need a new religion. All this to say, I think we need a new religion based on truth. So it can't be a lie. So it will give people purpose, but it won't be fake. It won't be, hey man, believe in my shit, because God's present, my brother. God's present right now. I mean, okay, enough jokes, because I'm not saying God isn't present. I'm not saying that the primary principle of the universe, whatever you want to call that, some people call it God, the underlying mathematics and physics of the universe isn't present and operating right now, because it is. I mean, look, that's gravity. That is what keeps the stars together. That is what keeps the Earth going around the sun. We don't really understand gravity yet. So there's shit going on that we don't get. And I'm not saying that God or the equivalent of God didn't press play or say, there shall be gravity. I'm not saying someone spoke those words, but do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that something didn't make everything be, right? Maybe something did make everything be. I just don't think we know the qualities of it yet. And so everything I'm trying to say is, I think we need a new religion that for those people who can't find personal meaning, for those people who say, I do love cuddles, and I do love pleasing my girlfriend, and I do love whatever it is, knitting, and I do love listening to music, and I do love making music, and I do love being a looks master, and I do love freestyle. Okay, I'm just thinking to myself. I do love whatever it is. I do love gym, whatever. Yeah, we have people who say, I do love that shit, but none of it matters. Nothing matters. I do love these things in life, but it still doesn't matter because the whole thing doesn't matter. That's a problem. And we need to fix that. And to fix that, we must do it with truth. Because smart people will reject lies. They'll go, I don't believe that bullshit religion, so we need to make a non-bullshit religion. And that feels important to me greatly. And if I can do it for me, then I can do it for you, because I'm a thinker and I disqualify all of the fake meanings myself. I have to end this video and upload it, but moral of the story, I think we need a religion based on truth. So that when people say, I'm going through pain, they'll be like, actually, I am going through pain, but this life matters because, and whatever they say after that will be a true argument, not made up. And they'll go, actually, that framing of that new religion has made me see things differently. And even though I go through pain, the good times overpower it. The good times are worth it. It's worth it for the cuddles. It's worth it for the sunrise. It's worth it for the stars. It's worth it for the city lights. It's worth it for the songs. It's worth it for the knitting. It's worth it for the plays. It's worth it for the whatever. Being a looks max, being an influencer, being whatever you want to do in your life. So steroids. We need a religion based in truth, and I think I want to do it. But I'm not going to invent it. I have to make it with the people. So I'll be in a street stall soon, like young Bob from Project Britannia. Search that on YouTube, Project Britannia, Britannica. He sits in the street doing a stall, talking about like conservative values. I'd like to do that, but talking about what true truths can we derive from reality to construct a religion based on truth. And I'll speak to the people about it. I won't be coming up with it. I'll be speaking to the people about it, and together with the people we can make a truth that motivates, but it's true. It's true. Like a morality and an incentive structure for reality that is based on truth. So yeah, I've taken ages to explain this, but yeah, I better upload it and get the fuck to work. But religion based on truth. That's all. I need the light and good. I need the, yeah, look at that. Come on. Loving it. That's natural, bro. That's not Anavar. That's not Winstrol. That's not Asteron. That's not Proviron. Do you know, it's mostly just got rid of my fat. I can't lie. I haven't gained much muscle. It's mostly just got rid of my fat. Anyway, like there. I haven't done any sit-ups, so it's just